For this young woman, racing is more than just a hobby. It's a family tradition. Joining me now is the youngest female to ever race at Langley Speedway, Macy Causey, and her grandmother and fellow racer, Diane Teal. Good morning, ladies.
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Great.
Good.
Okay, first of all, Macy, I have to ask, you have your permit, but you can drive a car 120 miles per hour.
Yeah, everybody asks me that. I'm only 15 years old, so like I only have my permit, and they're like, you go 120 miles an hour, but you don't even have your license to drive on the road. But I wish I did, but it doesn't work that way.
You could teach some people how to drive safely, right?
Yeah, but also very fast, so I gotta separate on the track and off the track.
Excellent. So tell me about some of your accomplishments about being the youngest girl to compete in different NASCAR races.
Yeah, I was the youngest to race in my division at Langley Speedway, but I also have a lot of history at Langley. I won championships at Langley Speedway in the Bandolero division. I have Rookie of the Year for the state of Virginia in 2015, and this past race at Martinsville, I was the youngest to ever make the race and the youngest female, and my grandmother was actually the first female to ever make that race.
That's excellent. Diane, we were talking earlier, and you said that you had an opportunity to become a professional and had $1 million opportunity, but you decided not to take it. Tell me why.
I had 2 young kids.
Okay.
And you're talking about going on the road, and their life meant more to me. Them having a normal kid life.
Okay.
And they were willing to give me a tutor and everything else for my kids, but I didn't want to take that. I didn't want to take their childhood away. So I decided not to do it.
Now, this is the car that you raced in, Diane?
Yes.
Wow. What was it like to break barriers back then?
It was hard. It was hard. I was the only woman in NASCAR at Langley, and the majority of women in NASCAR, I was probably the first. I was the first woman to ever win a race or hold a track title.
Excellent. Macy, how did your parents, your daughter, meet your dad?
They actually met at a racetrack. If you want to tell more about that, you know a lot more.
My daughter's racing go-karts, and her dad was racing go-karts, and it was at Langley. That's how they met.
Okay.
And it came from there. They didn't particularly like each other right at that time.
Because they were racing, right? It's a competition.
My daughter is very competitive,
Okay.
but she didn't like her dad, Macy's dad. But a couple of weeks later, they started dating. In 3 months, they were engaged, and a year later, they were married.
It was a love
20
connection.
years ago.
Wow. Diane, I have to ask you though, were you concerned when you saw that your granddaughter was interested? Because you know some of the dangers of racing, and then you look and you see your granddaughter doing it.
Well, the only thing I can say is what I told my parents is I'm safer in that car than I am going to that track to race. And Macy's car and her equipment's a whole lot safer than what mine was. She has the Heinz device, she has a full helmet. NASCAR is making sure these drivers are safe.
Okay. And Macy, what do you think about when you're going 120 miles per hour?
It's really exciting. When I first started racing when I was 8, I was only going 50 or 60 miles an hour, and that's a lot for an 8-year-old to do.
Yeah.
So just going at fast speeds is just what I love to do and what I've been doing since I was young. So slowly moving up, going 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, 120, and then eventually, if I make it big in the Sprint Cup Series, going 198 miles an hour. So I love going fast. It's what I love to do, but I gotta definitely separate it when I get my license off the track and on the track. So
What a cool car and a cool uniform. We also have your helmet. This is really nice. Tell us about this.
Yeah, back in the day, like when my grandmother started racing, it was an open face helmet. They didn't have a shield on it. They didn't have a neck device to hold your neck, so your head could hit the side of the car, hit the bar, and you can get seriously hurt. So the biggest thing is the safety equipment that they have these days compared to when my grandmother raced. It's a lot, and it's a lot safer. So,
Are there any other women in racing that you look up to?
not racing now, but I definitely looked up to my grandmother and what she accomplished, and I definitely want to be there one day and make history and leave a really great legacy.
Diane, what do you want to see your granddaughter accomplish?
Whatever she wants to accomplish. Her parents never pushed her to race. It's all her doing, and it's what she wants to do, and I hope that she can make it all the way. And as long as I can be there, I'll be there.
Okay.
Behind her, 100%.
Excellent. And Macy, what's next for you?
I actually tried out for a diversity program to be a development driver. So what that means is if they accept me in the program, I'll move to North Carolina and be with their team and race with their team and see how far that can take me. But if I don't make it in that program, I'm just going to stay in the series that I'm in right now. And I'm a junior in high school, so I'm homeschooled now to succeed more in my racing career and go on with that. So high school is definitely the biggest thing, and to finish out high school and then go to college. But all of it's going to be for racing, and whatever I decide to do, it's definitely going to enhance my racing career. So that's
Excellent.
definitely what I want to do.
Well, hopefully you'll sign this for me because I know your
Definitely.
star is on
I
the
will.
rise. Thank you so much, you two. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you for having me.
Sure.